So over the last couple of months, we've included a lot of stories, stories of the old days in Florida mango history and stories from the Zill family and their experiences. I've shared some of my history with growing things and, of course, about the farm. And we even had a customer stop by and share some of his stories about his early experiences with mangoes. And that's really got me thinking. The Truly Tropical is not just about the mangoes, it's about the people. And I have really enjoyed getting to know a lot of the customers over the years and hearing some of their stories. And some of the stories actually happened right here. Like a few years ago, I was crazy busy on a Saturday morning, and this woman was right in the middle of the breezeway, lots of people all around her, and she's like, I need knife, and sort of a strange request, but very urgent, and so I went and got a knife, and she was holding a mango in her hand, and she sliced into it. It was a green mango, and this complete joy just came over her, not just her face, just her whole being. And she was from Thailand, and she hadn't had that particular mango since she was like 7 years old, and she was probably in her early 40s when she visited here. And that was just a really special thing to be a part of. And there have been other incidences over the past. It wasn't a particular moment, but ages ago, in the early days of Truly Tropical, I had a customer who used to drive from West Palm. It was like a 30-minute drive, and he would buy mangoes like every Saturday. And his name was Big Jim. And that's who our Big Jim mango was named after. But Big Jim had 32 mango trees in his yard, and they were not small trees. And he would come here and buy mangoes, even with having all those mangoes in his own yard. And there was only so many who could eat. And, I asked him, what do you do with all these mangoes? And he says, I just love giving them away, and he would give them to, family, friends, anybody. He just wanted to share the joy of mangoes. I had 2 carloads of people come down from Boston this past late winter, and they actually had been following our posts of what fruit we had, and noticed that we had Jaboticaba on, this Saturday, or one Saturday, and the very next Saturday they arrived, having driven down from Boston just for Jaboticaba. And Jaboticaba, when we have a plant that is fruiting, pretty much you get fruit for about 2 weeks, and so they were risking a lot of miles for this fruit, and they arrived and bought everything that, every Jaboticaba that I had picked, and explained that they were from Brazil, and one of the people hadn't had this particular fruit for 21 years. And, they just actually stood in the parking area and ate everything. And so it was really nice to see that level of joy about fruit. And then I have some new customers from India, and actually they have a tradition. This husband and wife, they go back to India for sugar apple season. It's Sitafal in India, and they fly over for like a week and a half in October, because that's when the sugar apples are ready there. And this year, because of business obligations, they had the tickets, and they actually had to cancel their trip. And the husband saw that we had sugar apples. He searched, I guess, online, and he was, for I think it's 3 weeks, he was the very first person at the gate in October, waiting for us to open, and so that he could get his wife, and of course he shared too with the Cedarfall, because that was their favorite fruit. So it's really fun to be a part of that, and I sure wish I had had more sugar apples, because of course October's not our strong month for that particular fruit. And another woman that I met ages ago name is May, and also from West Palm Beach, and she used to get a lot of our mangoes, a lot of them that were damaged actually, and make mango wine. And it's hard to guess how old May was, but she definitely was retirement age, and she had been making mango wine since she was a teenager. And actually, they had a party, bunch of teenagers, and the teenagers got drunk on her mango wine, and her mother's like, you can't do that for a few years. You gotta wait for people to get older. But apparently, just about every year, since she was presumably 21, she made this mango wine, and it really tastes very mango-y, much more so than other mango wines that I've tasted. But what a great experience. She just, instead of, I guess, knitting, well, I mean, she might have knitted too, but all through her life, she'd make this mango wine and share it with not only her family, but also friends. She'd have like the water jugs that she would fill with mango wine. So anyway, there are a lot of other stories, and what I would really like is for you to stop by and share your stories. Anything, something that you would like, a recipe that you like making with some tropical fruit, or some story about when you were younger with tropical fruit, just anything that relates to our fruit here at Truly Tropical. I would love to share those stories with our viewers, and at least I love the stories. I'm hoping that everybody does. So anyway, thanks very much for being part of Truly Tropical, and I hope that we'll have a lot of stories to share very soon.